We're in crypto summer. We just started crypto summer. Crypto summer is up only. Yes, you get the 30% pullbacks that happen in your face in minutes, but that's crypto summer. This whole year should be crypto summer. Now, we're all debating whether we get a left translated cycle or a bubble cycle that goes on further than we imagine. None of us know that yet, but we're at the sweet spot. Global liquidity is picking up, should continue going forwards. Business cycles should pick up. So this is the time. This is the great time. And this is the time when ETH outperforms Bitcoin, Solana outperforms ETH. A bunch of alts will outperform Solana. So, it's obviously, it is the great opportunity. It's the big trade is now on. Put capital in, and it's coming into Bitcoin. It then flows into the less liquid assets, and they rise more, right? It's just all markets work the same way. So it comes into Bitcoin, it pushes up the other assets. The next phase is obviously the ETH ETF. ETH is really an interesting dynamic because the more ETH you buy, the more the supply is reduced. With about 28% locked up in bloody staking, I mean, it's going to get quite a disruly market. There's just going to be going to be very price gappy to the upside and probably the downside. So that's going to get fun. Solana has been like the main adoption horse because it's going up the adoption curve, so it tends to outperform. So I just think you just have that perfect risk curve where Bitcoin starts the cycle well, ETH then starts to outperform. If you look at the ETH Bitcoin chart, it looks like it should start to break higher over time. And that's pretty much what happened. When was it? About September 2020. No, it was like summer 2020. We saw the same kind of thing. So we should see that continue. And then Solana, if I look at the Solana ETH chart, it's about to break higher again. It's like this perfect little flag pattern, should keep going. So it looks as is, and as I've kind of thought all the way through. I think nothing changes.
Where do you think Solana could go this cycle?
Solana is ETH of the last cycle, right? This is a proper blockchain that's getting full adoption. So this is a real thing. Fire Dance is the kicker. So we've got some real stuff happening here. So in terms of price targets, I mean, who the hell knows? But if we kind of replicate what ETH did last cycle, that was a 45x from the low. So you get somewhere like about $500. If I look at the other charts, I get somewhere between 500 and 1,000. And it just depends on the structure of this market. If we get a bubble cycle, it'll go to 1,000. If we get some sort of left translated, it gets to 500. It's something like that. As we all know here, price targets are pretty useless, but because you need to see the structure and nature of the market when it happens. So it's all well and good us having an idea now, but we'll feel it and know it when it's happening.
Legendary trader Raoul Pal has doubled down on his forecast for Bitcoin, Ethereum and Solana. So how high can Bitcoin go? In a YouTube chat, Raoul Pal noted that he believes that Bitcoin can end this current cycle with a massive price of $250,000, and for reference, the Bitcoin price is actively in discovery mode and it just recorded another all-time high above $71,000 as optimism surrounding the coin remains sustained. And despite the $250,000 price target, Raoul Pal is not convinced that this is the best the digital currency can do. He noted that the valuation could go even higher depending on the trend in the spot Bitcoin ETF. And the spot Bitcoin ETF has remained the dominant catalyst driving the price of Bitcoin to new highs. And the daily accumulation from spot Bitcoin ETF, including BlackRock, Fidelity Investments, ARK Invest, and Bitwise, notably surpassed the amount of Bitcoin generated through mining. And while an average of 5,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin is stacked up daily, only about 900 Bitcoin are generated across the board, creating a notably supply shock that might help drive the price towards an estimated $250,000 in the long term. And Ethereum and Solana get new high targets. In addition to the Bitcoin forecast, Raoul Pal projected a $17,000 to $20,000 surge for Ethereum this bull cycle, while he noted that Solana might jump as high as $700 to $1,000. And while the duo of Ethereum and Solana have not retested their respective all-time highs at $4,800 and $260, this ongoing bullish run, Raoul Pal has always highlighted their fundamentals as a key catalyst that can drive growth in the long term. And Raoul, who is a veteran figure in the financial industry and the CEO of Real Vision, has dwelled into the intricate landscape of cryptocurrency during a recent Ask Me Anything session. And Raoul Pal, renowned for his macroeconomic insight, has outlined a roadmap for the digital asset space, emphasizing an impending short-term volatility phase before what he terms the real run to new all-time highs. And Raoul identifies two key catalysts pushing the crypto industry in its new territory. And firstly, the recent approval for Bitcoin exchange-traded ETFs, and the second, the upcoming Bitcoin halving in April. And Raoul mentions the increase in demand because of ETF pre-orders and predicts a likely influx of $1 to $2 billion. And the big question here is, with this surge in demand, who will end up being the buyer in the situation? And recognizing the inevitable short-term market turbulence, Raoul pragmatically addresses the potential for 30 to 35% pullbacks, a common occurrence at 0.618 Fibonacci levels during the initial phase of a bull run. And this becomes especially relevant as the market adjusts to its heightened demand. And meanwhile, the visionary strategist explains that such corrections are a natural part of the process, acting as a clear mechanism for leverage. And this in turn sets the stage for what Powell envisions as the real run.
I'm trying to figure out, I'd love to hear your guys' views. So here's my odds. My odds is 60% this is kind of a normal cycle. I would say the last cycle we had wasn't. It was stunted. The last leg was stunted. We should have had another leg higher. We didn't get it. 2017 was probably more of a normal crypto cycle. It's like 2013. They get quite blow-offy top at the end. There's a full bubble cycle that could be kind of la land, which I would give 20%. I give 60% to a normal cycle and 20% to a left translated cycle. We have not seen on the media side the rush. It's not happened yet.
No.
It's the same people still. Yeah, I can see my Twitter numbers growing again because they were flatlined for a long time, but they're still not growing fast. I mean, I hit 1 million, I don't know, 4 months ago, and I'm at like 1,020,000. So we're not seeing a massive influx.
No.
So you're right. I mean, look, there's some anecdotal evidence, yes, but we're not really seeing a mass participation. And, you know, but it is early. It's early in the cycle. We forget, you know, just in my core positions, and then 5% of silly stuff, of which I've got some stuff that's too small I won't talk about, and then I've got whiff and I've got good at this part of it, because you always end up and look back and you're too late into a cycle. You look back, you got this shrapnel of useless shit. I mean, if I look back at my wallet last time around, the decentralized and sandbox and all of this stuff you get stuck with from narratives that you overstayed in, you know, that's the issue, is not overstaying in this stuff. Some of this might well do, right? Doge, stuff like that. No, it's tokenized culture now. It's folklore, right? So I don't really.
The anticipated ascent to all-time highs and beyond, and there is going to be a short-term chop before the real run. Raoul Pal offers an intriguing timeline suggesting that the much anticipated real run might commence around the time of Bitcoin halving event, and with an estimated month or two of potential choppy waters, Raoul Pal positions the upcoming period as a critical juncture for the investors, anticipating that this phase will mark the beginning of a long-awaited surge to new heights. And as of now, Bitcoin is trading at around $70,000, and however, the forthcoming weeks promise to be an intriguing chapter as the market navigates the anticipated short-term volatility on its journey towards what Raoul Pal envisions as a real run into unprecedented heights. And it's not just Raoul who thinks Bitcoin has a great future. Billionaires are embracing crypto as well. And so the real question is, if billionaires are embracing crypto, that should send the price of Bitcoin soaring, but it's not guaranteed. Just 2 years ago, it would have been close to impossible to find many billionaires seriously thinking about adding Bitcoin to their portfolios. But a lot has changed since then, including a crypto bull market and a wave of mainstream adoption powered by the new spot Bitcoin ETFs. And as a result, a growing number of billionaires around the globe are now looking for ways to get exposure to Bitcoin. And if we take a closer look at which billionaires are buying Bitcoin right now and what this new development might mean for the future of Bitcoin. And any talk of billionaires buying Bitcoin has to start with Michael Saylor, who is the executive chairman and co-founder of MicroStrategy. And the billionaire started aggressively buying Bitcoin back in mid-2020 and has continuously ramped up his company's Bitcoin holdings since then. And Michael Saylor's latest move was a new $600 million convertible note offering from MicroStrategy, with the funds being used to buy even more Bitcoin. This comes after a previous $800 million convertible notes offering to buy Bitcoin. And the company now holds 214,000 Bitcoins, which is slightly more than 1% of all Bitcoins in circulation. And another billionaire at the forefront of the current Bitcoin rally is Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. As the head of the largest asset manager in the world, Fink has become increasingly bullish in his support for Bitcoin. And in August 2022, BlackRock partnered with Coinbase Global on a new crypto trading platform. And last June, BlackRock was the first major investment firm to file a new spot Bitcoin exchange traded ETF application. And in less than 3 months since it has been approved, BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF has acquired 200,000 Bitcoin. And as of right now, Bitcoin is up 5% in just one single day. And as many might have expected, the tidal wave of Bitcoin buying by the new spot ETFs is leading to what some crypto traders have called a Bitcoin supply squeeze, and simply stated that there is just not enough Bitcoin to go around. According to Michael Saylor, there's now 10 times as much more demand as supply for the Bitcoin. So this seems to be one of the main reasons why Bitcoin has gone up so much in value over the past couple of months. And as long as this remains the case, the price of Bitcoin seemingly has nowhere to go but up. So that's it guys from here today. Please subscribe and do hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching.